plot on how much money people are making working at a factory. 50, 70, 80, 95, 110. This is how much they make. How do you calculate the range? 110 minus, how do you get the IQR? 95 minus 70. Cool. The boss says everybody today is going to get $20 more. What's this person getting? 70. What's this person getting? 90. What's this person getting? 100. This person? And this person. Excuse my bad artwork. Is it the same box and whisker that is just translated over? Has the mean changed? Is the average money changed? Yeah, it's going to be higher, $20 higher, right? Is the median going to be higher?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the range going to be higher? No, because it's still 110 minus 50, now it's 130 minus 70. The standard deviation only changes if the box gets bigger or smaller. Has it got bigger or smaller? No. Has the standard deviation changed?
No.
Cool. All right. The boss says everyone gets double pay. Woohoo. This person's getting 100. This person's getting 140. This person's getting 160. My bad artwork has the box stretched out. Will the range be bigger? If this is double 220 minus, it will be bigger. Will the IQR be bigger? Cool. All right, here is the plan. It's a good plan. We are doing day 2 of weighted averages today, and that's it. You already have the review sheet for tomorrow. Tomorrow's a review all day. But some of you have busy lives. Raise your hand if you have a busy life. And how many of you like to plan your education if you can? So maybe you have to study tonight. By the way, this test is on this class Thursday. Do you have 2 win days where you could come in and also review? You sure do. Second hour has 1 win day. Those that were here the last win day, it will not be as crazy this win day. All right, it will be, oh, come on, George. Okay. It will not be as crazy as it was before. All right. Let's go to weighted averages. Let me show you in this class, and we're not doing any problems on this class. Homework is 10%. Tests and quizzes are 90%. You get a 94% on your homework grade. You get an 87% on your test grades. If they were not weighted averages, if they were equals, what would your overall grade be? Add them up, divide by 2. Would it be about 90.5? But is your grade in this class a 90.5 if this is who you are? No, because we take 10% times 94%, and we add that to 90% times your 87%. Because the tests weigh so much heavier. Because it is harder to cheat on the test, but I'm sure some of you try. Boo to those of you that try. Maybe I'll catch you. And I do have a calculator. 10% times 94% plus 90% times 87%. And your grade becomes about an 87.7. Multiply those up. Take that times 10% times 0.1. Take that times 0.9. Cool. All right. Here we go. You love riding bicycles. And you are going to ride a bicycle 120 miles in one day. How many have done the Ironman bike ride out of Lakeville? I think there's 100 miles. It was really funny. So how many know what the Ironman triathlon is? Run a marathon. Wait, you do first of all a swim of what, 2 miles? Like a 2-mile swim, and then you ride a bicycle like over 100 miles, and then you run a marathon. And I thought, okay, like this Ironman it's called the Ironman bike in Lakeville, and I think, wow, that's like, why would they use that name? Turns out they had the name before the triathlon did. They just didn't like copyright it. All right, so you want to go on a really long bike ride, and you want to get down to 7.5 hours. How many of you do something recreationally athletic that you try to do well in? Lifting weights, running, playing football, swimming, skiing, okay? So this would be the best ever. They've done this really, really long bike ride. So they want to do this. All right. So they start their bike ride. All right, and they go for 1.5 hours. And they've got their little cycle computer. And they're at 17 miles per hour. All right. So they're going it's summer. They're going for a really long bike ride. All right. At that point, the terrain changes or the wind changes. How many have made the bicycling mistake? You go out and it's a windy day and you go out and you start going with the wind at your back. And then you turn around and then you got to come into it and you're really grumpy. How many have made that mistake? Yeah, it's a bad mistake. So maybe it's hillier, maybe it's windier. Okay, so then next, what happens to you next will be the following. You go 20 miles at 14 miles per hour. So you're going into the wind. Often in recreation, they will use the word leg, like on a relay, it's the last leg of a relay. So what is the last leg needed to succeed? And I'll restate that, 120 miles in 7.5 hours. It's a summer day, you want to go on a really long bike ride. You're somebody who loves riding bikes. You're going on a really long bike ride. You've got a course that's 120 miles long because you're really into this. You have never done it in 7.5 hours. That would be your best ever, and today you're going to do your best ever. You start your bike ride, and for an hour and a half, your computer says you've averaged 17. The next 20 miles, maybe you're into the wind, maybe it's hillier, you've slowed down to 14 miles an hour. All right, you've turned coming home. What do you need to do to succeed on your whole trip? Raise your hand if you understand the problem. Understand the problem? Understand the problem? How fast do we got to go to the end? All right, here's our solution. Please write down first leg. Is it a simple formula? Say it. Distance equals. All right, so here's our first leg. Distance equals rate times time. All right, let's see. Our first leg is, do we know how far we went without a little calculation? Nope. Do we know our rate that we started at? Say yep. And our time. 17. Please calculate that out. Do you know everything about that first leg of your trip? Do you know how far you went, how fast you went, how long it took? Okay, well, it's good to know everything. All right, the second leg. Distance equals rate times time. I've got D equals RT, okay? The second leg, do we know how many miles it is?
Yeah.
20. So under the D, I'm putting a 20, you people in the corner. Do I know how fast I went? 14 miles per hour. Do I know the time? So I've got a little different missing information this time. All right? But is the time very easy to calculate? 20 divided by 14, everyone.
1.43.
And let's go to the hundredths. Time is 1.43 hours. Those of you in the corner there, I'm coming to theirs, it says 1.43 hours. Do we know everything about the first part of your bike ride, the distance, the rate, and the time? Do we know that?
Yes.
Do we know everything about the second part of your trip, distance, rate, and time? Cool. Let's drive over here. Please write down the words so far. So far. All right. So far. Would you add up the two distances? So far, how far have we gone? 45.5? All right. How long? How long have we been going so far? Time. Add them up, please.
6 hours.
Louder again?
2.93 hours.
One more time.
2.93 hours.
Do we agree 2.93 hours?
Oh, that's how much we have left, sorry.
Have we gone 2.93 hours? All right. Please write down what's left. How many miles are left?
74.5.
We're going 120 minus this. Say yup if you know the distance is 74.5 miles. Cool. Do we know how much time is left? 4.57 hours. We're hoping for 7.5 hours. This is where this came from. You are hoping to do your best ever. 7.5 hours. You've taken 2.93. You have 4.57 to go. Some heads shaking if this is all making good sense. All right, so now, let's go finally. Is it an easy formula? Distance equals rate times time. What is the distance we are going to go at the end? 74.5. What rate do we need? We don't know it yet. How much time do we have to do it? Let's go our final answer to the tenths. 74.5 equals R times 4.57.
16.3.
If you would go 16.3 miles per hour, you would succeed. You would succeed. You have 5 problems of homework in front of you. The first couple are pretty easy. You already have the review sheet. The review sheet is like the test. Tomorrow, all day in class, we're reviewing. We'll go over all of the homeworks. You should have all of the homeworks for January.